Has this ever happened to you? PSVR 2 disconnecting mid-race, or on this occasion, the end of the race.
What are you looking at, boy?
So, here we see ourselves in the World Series 2025, the renewed Exhibition 2, the one that was cancelled because of the network issues. So we're going to start with our qualifier, we'll go through what we're doing, how we're getting on, and then obviously discuss the issues about the PSVR 2. On this occasion, I picked the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, seems to be the more favourable car. And I must admit, I absolutely love using this PSVR 2 headset. I'm one of those drivers that likes to be immersed. So yeah, things went okay, should we say. So, getting ourselves through. Tyres are cold. Got a couple of one little warm-up lap, and we're going to try and set a qualifying lap. See how we get on. Because this is the 2016 GT3 RS, it's a bit sketchy on the corners. It moves around an awful lot. So you just got to take your time and be gentle with that throttle pedal. I must admit, in this lobby, there's definitely some fast drivers. So my setup during this is I'm still running the old Logitech G29 steering wheel and pedals. The only thing I've been able to change and upgrade is I've got the pedometer for the throttle and the AXE Sim True Brake mod. So from AXE Sim, I'll put a link into this in below. Before I done this, every time I pressed the brake, it just went from 0 to 100% instantly, and then the moment you lift it off, it went right back down to 0%. So it was very difficult to try and even establish any form of trail braking. Same with the throttle. The throttle seemed very quick to respond and very quick to switch back off. So I've been using this now for about 3-4 weeks, and I must admit the difference it's made to my driving and the control I feel I have more of is night and day. It's if you want to stay with the Logitech wheels and you don't mind not upgrading to one of these Fanatec's DD Pros or Logitech Pro Edition ones for like £800 to £1,000, I'd definitely say this is a worthwhile investment. I must admit, the mountain trail as a track, it's one of my favourites. There's so many different changes in undulating circuits and hills and bends and tunnels and off cambers, and it's definitely one of those tracks that, as a driver, you truly enjoy being on and being involved in. While I've got you guys as well, has anyone got any specified like Logitech settings that kind of like help with sensitivity of the wheel or help with sensitivity of the brake pedals? Also, while I'm there, has anyone got the True Brake mod? Because I've found that the green spring, which I think is 23 kilos of braking force or compression force, just seems to be a little soft for me still. I know they come in 3 springs. I think one's a 15, one's a 23. One's a 35 kilo, I think. So I think that's what I'm going to try next time and see how we get on. So here we go, we're coming from our qualifying lap. See how we get on when we cross the line. Well, so far 3rd, looking good. Nope, 4th. See, I think it was too optimistic. Picked up myself a lovely little penalty while I was there. Cutting that last corner too much, but you got to push your limits, haven't you? So I know that last half second, if we speed up the video just to get through the qualifying, comes right on the final straight before you cross the line. As I say, things are going well. Right then, Nations Cup final. And dare I say, I got onto this on 6 o'clock on the last day, on the day of it, so it was the last race, the last chance. I didn't get much practice, making my excuses as early as you do. Yeah, see how we get on. Change a bit of brake bias to the back. Again, if anyone's got any suggestions on some brake bias for the Porsche, let me know. I run the 911 RSR as a normal thing for the Group 3s. So any suggestions on that would be greatly appreciated also. So the way we're going to do this then, guys, we're going to do a couple of laps of it normal speed, probably about 2 or 3 laps. Then we'll speed up the video footage rather than dragging it on for the full 10 laps. And then just when the inevitable happens, I'll slow it back down, and then we'll see where we finish. Again, we just got to be a little careful as we're coming through. First lap, tyres are a bit cold, car moves around more than it normally does. As you can see, I messed that up completely on the first part of it. Lost 2 positions on that corner by running wide. I've noticed in this GT3 RS 2016 edition, you've really got a short shift, because there's just that much power, it'll just start spinning out. Took myself in nicely there, got ourselves a position back, a little bit of slipstreaming. Just got to be careful, nice and gentle, don't go too far, give him a little bit of a nudge. I do apologise for that one, I genuinely couldn't brake any more than that. Hard down the brakes, down to 2nd, short shift back up to 3rd. Starting to catch back up on that Lambo again now. This is our first lap done. Holding back onto that 3rd place, pulled a little bit of a distance on 4th. So give myself a little bit of a safety blanket here. Trying to make sure I don't get another penalty point when I go over that corner. That one always seems to catch me out. You seem to just lose a little bit of control in the braking and you find that you cut it a bit too short. Looks like our Lambo's gone a little wide there, give me a bit of advantage. Another thing while I've got you guys, I've seen a few people, especially on the YouTubers, the ones who seem to be doing a lot more successfully than I am, wearing these like go-karting gloves or racing gloves. Is this something worthwhile investing in, or is it just a gimmick? I'm the kind of guy that's old school, you know, and more onto my midlife than we need to be. I'm definitely the wrong side of the 40. But, you know, if there's any advantage to be held, and there's something as simple as that can help, I'm more than open to finding out if there's any advantage or disadvantage to having some gloves. With that in mind, I currently race just in the socks. So if there's any advantage to like some fancy shoes or pool shoes or stuff like this that anyone can offer, yeah, let me know. I'll be intrigued to find out and give some a test. Might even do a bit of a YouTube video on them. Now that Lambo, although it's quick, it seems to lose a lot of its traction. It doesn't half move around a lot. Porsche just seems a little sharper when it turns, where the Lambo just seems to lose a lot of traction. No idea where first has gone. That guy's doing really well. Again, kind of target fixating on the back of the Lambo and started running a little bit wide there. Seems to get a much better drive out of that corner than the Lambo does. Starting to pull a little bit now. And I must admit, it's as if this Porsche just seems to be a bit better on the brakes than the Lambo as well, because they don't half close up now. We're getting so much more, but the Lambo has that four-wheel traction to get back out of the corner. It's interesting to see the advantages of these different cars. I'm not saying it's real life, but it gives you a good insight into how these vehicles kind of handle and respond. I must admit, I'm glad to get back on Gran Turismo 7. I kind of fell out of love with the Gran Turismo Sport a while back. Just, there was so many people driving into you, I was getting frustrated, and if I'm honest, taking a lot of it personally, which I just lost the love for the game. This time I got back into it, I'm just taking things a little easier, kind of relaxing into it, just enjoying the fact that it's a nice distraction to kind of occupy yourself for a little bit. So yeah. Right, we'll speed up the footage now, get through it a bit quicker. We're going to keep this going now because not much really happens from this point. We're going to go, I think it's down to the last lap that my inevitable happens. I gained a little bit of a position on the Lambo but lost it again because I went wide. And being this Lambo guy, we just continually fighting between us. It was such a nice race to have. Yeah, it's good. I like it when you have safe drivers and clean drivers. It makes the game a whole lot more enjoyable. So you're trying to get the Lambo a little bit of room. You just don't want to be one of those drivers that seems to ram people off the road. So we're already up to lap 6. Gotta love Premiere Pro with its little speed function. We're smashing it now. So I must admit, while I'm doing this then, when you set up the PSVR, it gives you the boundary while you're seated. And I feel as though the boundary floor seems to be really high. And the area that you have on the boundary seems pretty close to where you are as a driver sat in your rig. And I'm wondering if, like many others, I get a little carried away and a little immersed inside the VR itself. And I'm sure I'm leaning left and right as I'm taking these corners, kind of compensating for G-forces that aren't actually happening. Again, do you know what, I'm going to have to do a video of this and kind of link it in to see how comical it must be to watch a middle-aged man nearly falling off the seat. Unlike you guys, I don't have these fancy rigs. I'm kind of sat on my couch with the Next Level Racing rig stand for the wheel and pedals only. But yeah, it's I must admit, I really do enjoy playing with this PSVR. I was a bit dubious about buying one originally, but yeah, I was fortunate enough to take the gamble, and you know what, I'm using it more than I ever thought I would. Right then, lap 9. Not really impressive going as fast as me, but I'm not that fast in general. You can see that Lambo's still behind me, still catching on me a bit. So I think at this stage it's just a battle for second or third place. Little than I know, I think we're about to take a little bit of a dark turn, and a frustrating one at that. So here we go. Final lap. Lambo got in front. Things are looking good, and all of a sudden we go into the tunnel. Oh, yes, let's disconnect the PSVR. So I've had to kind of scan around, look around, get it connected. I've had to, at this point I'm scanning the room to get the blue box at the room boundary set in place, and I started losing places. Just before we come back out of the bottom end of the tunnel, took the sharp left, managed to get the helmet back on. By that point, we just lost a fair bit of time, and in all fairness, what would have been a podium of either potentially second, but most definitely third at least, we would have been on the podium. And you try and not take it personally, but my god, it's frustrating. So we're all then, folks. 4th place. Yeah. It's one of those bittersweets, isn't it, really? I redeemed it. I could have gone even worse, but yeah, we got ourselves the 4th place finish. Got myself a few more points. Yeah, one of them. Must admit that the Matty MD from the R8, I thought it was a Lambo, my apologies, from the R8. Yeah, cracking driver. We've done really well together, really clean driver, it's nice to see. I've got another video that's going to come out where we've done a nice little video on that one, but yeah, see how we get on.
Class dismissed.